Tomorrow evening, the EY Red Carpet Gala at the Oakville Centre for the Performing Arts will feature Stealing the Sky. The dramedy is set in Toronto's ever-growing urban landscape, where historic buildings are torn down to make way for towering condos that steal the sky. Earlier, I spoke with director and Canadian treasure Megan Follows about why she wanted to tell this particular story.
This is a beautiful story based on a lot of life events of the writer and the lead actor of our film, Marie Dame. So I wanted to tell this story because I love the characters in the piece. I love the idea and following a woman in her middle life who's basically about to face losing everything and having to recreate herself, and really having to kind of go through a growing up process again. So that was one element that I loved. I love the city of Toronto. I grew up here, and I've seen there's so many changes, some changes for the better and some changes break my heart, because I feel like we're tearing down so much of our history in this city, historical buildings basically. And I'm fascinated by human behavior and what we all do sort of when no one is watching, and how alone we can all feel when we are actually surrounded by so many of our fellow beings, sometimes going through a similar experience. So perspective fascinates me, our own point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And some of the cutaways that you do when you zoom in on the little details, especially the fish named Family, when mom and dad are having a fight and, family's just swimming around.
I love that you got that. Thank you.
The soundtrack of this film is incredibly powerful, from the opening discordant notes to the harmonica beatbox. I've never seen that before. It was fantastic. Tell me about how important that soundtrack was to you.
I'm very sort of sensitive to sound, and I feel like we had an incredible urban post, did an extraordinary job with us. And for me too, on a low budget film, I actually went around a lot getting real sounds in the city with a microphone, because we're all so bombarded in Toronto right now, an endless barrage of construction, and that noise is always permeating, and we're kind of trying to balance a sense of tranquility or peace, or the birds, and trucks backing up. So we have a beautiful Bryn Scott Grimes is this wonderful harmonica player that Marie had introduced us to, and I really wanted to make him a practical source of music, because I love that too. And he kind of hangs around the building, so he really plays. It allows some of our characters, people that live on the streets, to kind of move and have an interaction, and it puts it in a practical world. His music is incredible. Our other composer was Brent Bodrig, and he did a beautiful job. That discordant notes, it's a dramedy, a comic drama, I say, and a lot of people, what they really got though was this sense that there's a pathos underneath that I think is very relatable. So I was extremely grateful that our composer understood that his beautiful daughter Siobhan is the singer. So when you hear the voice of singing, it's his daughter. They will all be at the opening gala in Oakville performing live, and that's very exciting. So it's really cool.
Amazing.
Really cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. And finally, the title itself, Stealing the Sky, like you just mentioned how, the soundscape of Toronto, there's not a whole lot of serenity, and there's many, many shots in the whole film that is literally she's staring out her window at this postage stamp of sky that is presumably getting smaller and smaller. And it's incredibly timely with, of course, the housing crisis right now. Did that lead into you wanting to tell this story a little bit more, or just sort of?
100%. We do have a housing crisis in this city, in many cities, and but we also have sort of a lack of harmony, it seems, of knowing how to build, where to build, and how to integrate it into the neighborhoods we have. How do we, Toronto in particular, some cities I think are better at that, and there's more of a respect for historic buildings or incorporation, because it isn't that we don't need, we absolutely do. But Stealing the Sky was sort of a beautiful title that Marie was thinking about, because basically those cranes, and as the buildings get taller and taller, we see less of the sky.